Welcome, my fearless foot soldiers of fate, my shopping cart centurions, my sun-beaten sages, and my rogue pilgrims. You've navigated the labyrinth of life and somehow emerged not with a pension, but with a rolling cart full of semi-functional gear and a grudge against gravity. Welcome to Hobo Road, where we trade comfort for momentum and shelter for motion, one blistered step at a time. Everything hurts. My shadow limps. My cart squeaks like it's narrating a ghost story, but I'm out here doing the thing. So until I've got some proper footage from the trail, with wind-blown hair, stunning vistas, and the occasional curse word, I figured I'd drop something fun to hold you over. Today we're not discussing camp chairs or coffee hacks. Oh no, today is about travel. Glorious, gritty, joint-jangling travel. Not the Instagram influencer kind with floppy hats and overpriced duffel bags. No. This is the gritty pilgrimage of the over 55 wanderer. This is about what to consider when you're homeless or living rough and moving, by foot, bike, or gloriously squeaky cart, from one town to the next, or even across state lines. Maybe you're heading south for the winter or north for the shade. Maybe you're chasing a rumor, a seasonal job, or just trying to outwalk regret. Doesn't matter. You need to move smart. You need to move safe. You need to move like a middle-aged wizard with sciatica and zero time for nonsense. Let's go. 1. Know why you're moving. This isn't about romance. This isn't about chasing sunsets unless those sunsets come with a hot food and a safe stealth camp. Moving takes effort, you know? And when you're over 55, it's a commitment. Every step costs calories, water, joint pain, and probably a new blister you'll name and come to hate. So ask yourself, are you heading to a better climate, a better shelter, or just away from a bad situation? Don't move because of a vibe. Move because there's something worth reaching, and then double check that it's still there, because shelter's close, friends move, cities get less friendly overnight. Always travel towards something, not just away. 2. Your cart is your castle. If you're pushing a cart like I am, congratulations. You've entered the noble order of the wheeled nomads. But remember, your cart is more than a bin on wheels. It's your trunk, your closet, your supply depot, and your credibility to passing cops. It should roll smoothly, collapse if needed, and not look like it's been dragged from the fiery depths of a junkyard uprising. You'll want to line it with foam, tarp, or a shower curtain so nothing gets soaked in a surprise rain. And zip ties, the duct tape of the cart world. Zip ties are king. Just know that the more busted and bulging your cart looks, the more you stand out. And standing out is the natural predator of survival. Blend, be subtle. Carry the calloused hands of America, not the whole damn scrapyard. 3. Use a radar weather app. This isn't just about watching the clouds roll in and muttering something about your knees aching. No. You need an actual weather radar app, something with live precipitation tracking, wind speed, temperature swings, all that juicy data. Because one wrong storm and suddenly you're soaked, shivering, and having an existential crisis in a drainage ditch. With radar, you can time your walks, pick when to hide under a bridge, and even decide which direction to run when the sky opens up like God's angry bathtub. Bonus, it feels like you're a tactical meteorologist, very professional, very end times chic. 4. Know where to get water. Dehydration doesn't send a warning text. In over 55, it hits harder than a midlife crisis on roller skates. Know where to find water, park fountains, public restrooms, kind churches, or that weird library spigot out back that may or may not be cursed. And bring a couple of decent bottles, ideally something that doesn't leak or smell like despair. If you're moving through rural areas, it's worth carrying a water filtration straw or iodine tabs. Because, drinking from a creek may sound rustic until the diarrhea hits like a jazz solo. 5. Stick to state roads. Listen, this is important. County roads, they sound friendly. They're not. They're the domain of banjo-toting hillbillies, invisible dogs, and trucks with more rust than morality. You want state roads, Better maintained, more likely to have shoulders, and less likely to end in a suspicious cul-de-sac with a mailbox full of bad decisions. Use Google to check the shoulder size if you can. A nice wide one means you've got a place to walk, a place to hide, and somewhere to collapse when your knees give up the dream. Sixth plan for camp each night. Do not, and I mean do not, walk until you're too tired to think, because then you'll find yourself at 10 p.m. in an unfamiliar town with nowhere to sleep except behind a Waffle House dumpster that hums like an evil microwave. Start thinking about camp by 4 or 5 p.m. Give yourself time to scout. Sometimes a quiet patch of trees just outside city limits is safer than any shelter. Shelters can be violent, loud, or full of bed bugs with union representation, and sometimes being invisible in the woods is the sanest option. 7. Know when to rest. Your body isn't a machine anymore. It's a haunted amusement park ride held together by cartilage, ghosts, and caffeine. If you feel dizzy, rest. If your legs swell like microwaved hot dogs, rest. This isn't the Oregon Trail, and you're not winning a prize for collapsing heroically. Pacing yourself is survival. 10 miles a day is noble. 5 miles is brave. 1 mile is fine if it gets you somewhere safe. Just don't try to outwalk your own limits because they'll catch up and they'll bring back up. 8. Bright colors by day, camouflage by night. Visibility saves lives. During the day, wear bright colors, even a reflective vest if you've got one. Drivers aren't looking for you. They're texting, eating tacos, or screaming at GPS rerouting. But when it's time to dip into the woods, swap or cover that neon. The same color that kept you alive on the road will betray you when you're trying to disappear into the underbrush like a disgruntled cryptid. Think of it like survival cosplay, daywalker neon, night stalker earth tones. 9. Foot gaiters. Rocks in your shoes are not character building. They are the enemy. They start small like whispers of regret, and by mile 4, they're a full-blown coup d'etat inside your boot. Gaiters keep out debris, but if you don't have any, cut the elastic tube from an old sock and slip it over your ankle. Boom. Improvised rock repellent. Also keeps out ticks, which are nature's answer to the question, what if suffering had legs? 10. Google Maps is king. Let go of the romance. You're not an old-timey explorer with a parchment map and a dream. You're a modern hobo with a phone that's 8% battery and a cracked screen. Use Google Maps and download offline areas in advance in case you lose signal. Mark water sources, food spots, shelters, and those weird underpasses with strong Wi-Fi. This is your lifeline, but also carry a small power bank, because digital wisdom means nothing when your screen goes black and you're suddenly Magellan with amnesia. 11. Don't hide your phone, embrace it. This ain't 2009, and we're not ashamed of our government-issued lifeline, that so-called Obama phone. It's your flashlight, GPS, hotline, calendar, radio, and sometimes your only friend at 3 a.m. Keep it charged, keep it dry, keep it off when you don't need it. Not for shame, but to preserve juice like it's the last Capri Sun in the apocalypse. Use airplane mode when traveling to save power. And for the love of sanity, put a lock on it, because losing your phone means losing your damn roadmap to survival. 12. Find places to charge. Fast chargers aren't just a luxury. They're a public loitering time reducer. The less time you need to spend posted up in a McDonald's like a sad USB stick, the better. Libraries are your friends. Coffee shops, truck stops, even laundromats sometimes have outlets. If you've got a solar panel, one of those backpack ones, even better. Just don't leave it lying around unless you want to find it later broken and gently urinated on. 13. Know the laws where you're going. Some towns are weird, like you can't sit here, you can't loiter there, you can't breathe near this fountain, kind of weird. Research ahead. Know which cities have anti-camping ordinances, where cops are more likely to hassle you, and which public parks close at dusk. If you get ticketed in a place you're leaving tomorrow, it might not matter. But if you plan to stay, every little violation stacks up like unpaid library fines, but with court dates and anxiety. 14. Don't travel at night. It's tempting. Cool air, fewer people. But nighttime is when the weirdos come out, and not the fun kind with bongos and dreams. I'm talking real danger. Animals, drunks, cops who assume you're doing something illegal. You also won't see where you're stepping, and one rolled ankle turns your journey into a pity party with a limp. Find your camp by dusk. Get hidden before headlights hit. Darkness belongs to things with better vision and worse intentions. 15. Carry a paper list of contacts. Phones die, screens crack, and when they do, if you don't remember grandma's number or your friend's address in Tucson, you're suddenly alone in a digital desert. Write it all down. Names, numbers, medical information, emergency contacts. Laminate it if you're fancy. Tape it inside your cart if you're not, because nothing's more humbling than asking a stranger if they can help you call someone and realizing you have no one to call. 16. Sleep outside of town. Cities are noisy. Shelters are full. Parks have sprinklers with a personal vendetta. Sometimes it's better to bed down a mile outside town, tucked behind some brush or a highway sound barrier. You'll get more sleep, fewer interactions, and less chance of a cop flashlight interrogation. Just scout it first. Look for broken bottles, ant nests, or any signs that local teens use the spot for recreational stupidity. Also check the wind direction. Camp upwind of civilization. It smells better. 17. Carry a dummy wallet. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Just a beat-up old wallet with a few expired cards and a $5 bill. If you get mugged or someone decides to test your generosity at knife point, you hand it over like it's all you've got. Real ID, real cash, that stays hidden. Survival isn't about pride. It's about deception and decoys and the occasional Oscar-worthy performance. 18. Learn the faces of friendly locals. Not everyone's out to get you. Some folks are just waiting to help, but you've got to learn to spot them. Look for the guy sweeping the sidewalk outside his business every morning, the church lady who brings coffee to the park, the librarian who doesn't flinch when you walk in. Build a quiet map of kindness. One friendly face in a town of strangers is worth more than a whole pocket full of change. 19th, practice controlled loitering. There's an art to being somewhere without looking like you shouldn't be there. Sit like you're waiting for someone. Stand like you're about to leave. Carry a book. Nod at passers-by. Be the mystery old man who maybe owns a boat and definitely knows where the best biscuits are. Don't give security a reason to call you in. Blend, hover, and float like the ghost of bad decisions with impeccable manners. 20. Know the direction of resources. Don't just wander. Know the layout. Food to the east, shelter to the west, danger to the north. Map the area in your head. Know which gas stations let you use the bathroom, which parks shut down at night, where the back alleys are if you need to slip away fast. Travel is chess, not checkers, and the board is always shifting. You can't win if you don't know the pieces. 21. Keep your morale weaponized. Traveling while homeless over 55 isn't just hard. It's existential Jenga played in a wind tunnel. You need something that keeps the rot away. A song, a mantra, a photograph of someone you once were or someone you might still be. Humor helps. Gallows, weird, bitter, broken humor. Weaponize your joy. Sharpen your sarcasm. Your attitude is your armor. And if it cracks, the world will notice. Keep laughing, even if it sounds like sobbing with flair. So there you go, 21 gritty, grimy, gallows-humored nuggets of nomadic wisdom smuggled out from the front lines of senior survival. If you made it this far, your attention span is better than mine, or you're stuck on a bus with no Wi-Fi. Either way, thank you. Remember, travel light, rest often, and don't take advice from people who've never tried to outwit a raccoon for a warm spot. I hope your road is a good one. And if you're homeless, I hope it doesn't suck for you. Peace.